Welcome, everyone. We're going to give you just a couple of minutes to join the webinar. We are very excited about this one because it's such a powerful and important topic. My name is Andy Crestodina. I'm the co-founder of Orbit Media, and I'm here with Ilya Onskul from Impact Hero and SEMrush. And we'll give you guys a couple of minutes to enter, and then we'll get started.
Hey guys, Ilya from SEMrush here. I was excited to see you all here.
And Gregory as well. Say hello.
Hey everyone.
Gregory, I'm ready when you are, but I think we're still a minute out, or just say when. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's just maybe a minute or two. Let people join, and then we go ahead.
Yeah, so as you join, I'll just say that I am a digital marketer and strategist. I'm the co-founder of Orbit Media, which is a web development company here in Chicago. I'm here in the US. We know that the SEMrush community is international, which is beautiful. And then I have 20 years of SEO and analytics experience, going back to the tools that were the precursor tools to Google Analytics, and that I've been doing content strategy, blogging, social media, influencer marketing, email marketing for the last 13 years. So I think a lot about funnels. And I'm happy to share a lot of thoughts about funnels, how content works with funnels, how it doesn't work with funnels, what does work, what doesn't work, because different content has different ability, different power to affect different parts of the funnel. So that will be our topic today. And we're also going to, of course, introduce to you a new tool, some kind of breakthrough technology that will help us analyze our funnels much more easily. So that's that's coming up here in just a minute.
Yep. Well, chat is being crowded. Yeah, swarmed by people. So nice.
Tell us where you are. Yeah, welcome everybody. Tell us where you are.
Hi everyone. So yeah, let's just start. I think we have a crowd of people. Everything is set. Andy's here. Ilya here. So once again, the introduction. Andy already introduced himself. Very nice. So Andy is our expert today. He'll be sharing his insights about content marketing. He's a real pro in content marketing. Ilya is a product owner at SEMrush. He's responsible for developing the content marketing solutions for SEMrush, and also the tool we'll be speaking today, Impact Hero. And my name is Gregory. I'm video lead for content marketing solutions at SEMrush. So I'll be hosting the webinar, also sharing some information about SEMrush and about Impact Hero. So we can just go ahead. So yeah, as you know, this is a SEMrush webinar. We basically build tools for marketers. We're mostly famous for SEO tools, but also we're doing market research tools and content marketing platform. So these are really, really interesting and also out there. So we've been out there on the market for 12 years already. So that's kind of a, yeah, we discussed that, I don't know, a few days ago with Ilya, and he said, wow, it's already 4 years since we released the content marketing platform. And then he's saying, like, I think it was yesterday. So
yeah, it really seemed to me like it was. I can remember it in its infancy, really.
Yeah, so we're out there. It's 6 offices, 12 years, 6 million users, 800 employees, and growing. So trusted by these clients. Some of them are pretty famous, and yeah, we're happy to have them with us. Yeah, so I already mentioned what we offer. So SEO, PPC, social media, content marketing, and market research solutions, toolkits for marketers out there. And with this, the small introduction, I'm going to switch to you, Andy. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Before I leave this slide, I like that point you made. Very famous. SEMrush, very famous for SEO tools. If you have an account and you haven't gone in there yet, use the drop down from the top left and check out the content marketing tools. There is a lot of muscle you can flex in there. It's got amazing tools for researching content, competitive analysis, building pillars, adjacent research, top performing content on any topic. Fascinating, lesser known, but some of the best value offered by SEMrush in their product. The funnel, the marketing funnel. This is it's both obvious and controversial. There are people who get angry almost when you talk about prescriptive approaches to writing content for the funnel, or what works for the funnel, or this format for this funnel stage and this format for this funnel stage, or that there even is a funnel. The funnel got turned upside down in a way, or mixed up a lot in this very famous report from Forrester in 2010, when they make the case that in the digital, specifically in the social age, the funnel is not a straight line. That is obvious. We all know that. How many funnels are we all in right now? I'm in 65 funnels of different companies in different stages, right? Some back of mind, some I'm deciding now. There's not a straight line through the funnel, and we know that, and that's what Forrester was saying, and it's true. The funnel is not, people go in all different directions. There's all different inputs. It's why attribution is so hard. It's why multi-channel attribution is still yet imperfect, right? We understand this. Stuff that isn't even measurable, like word of mouth. What do you do there? Some people draw it even more like a bowl of spaghetti. Look at this one. I'm just showing you different alternative views, popular alternative views to the funnel. Prospecting, blog, a webinar. What is their stage? How do we get them over to their purchase? Look at that mixed up thing in the middle. I like this one because it's colorful. How about this one? Yeah, sure, it's still a funnel, but your audience isn't moving through it in a straight line. I'm just showing you all different. If you look, you'll find tons of these. Like, oh, they go from here to here, they're coming back, they're going backwards, up and down. Yes, I get it. But basically, there is still awareness, consideration, and action, right? Okay, it's a straight line, but my audience is moving through in a nonlinear way. Fine. Let's use that. You could call that to be, it's still is it a funnel? I don't know. But there is still such a thing as awareness, consideration, and action. That is fundamentally true of everything that you've ever purchased in your life. Some people say, oh, there's a funnel now, but you got to turn it upside down. Flip your funnel. This is called account-based marketing. Start by identifying that small group, engage with them. We're going to expand. Okay, our funnel's upside down. How about sideways? No, the funnel's really a bow tie. We'll turn it sideways. They're coming in from the left and going out at the right, because after they convert, what about the loyalty loop? What about the post-purchase? Okay, I get it. Go search for marketing funnel. You're going to find 45 million relevant web pages on that. Of course, there are a lot of perspectives on this. Of course, it's not a linear thing. Of course, it works differently for different audiences, different content. We know that. I wish I'd saved it. We had this conversation in LinkedIn, and somebody said, this is what I hate about content marketing. Every time someone says an infographic's good for this funnel stage, like, wow, relax. This is a general viewpoint. It's a perspective, and it can lead us toward better thinking, because it is 100% true that some content builds more awareness than others, that some content creates more trust and conversion than others. So if you go back, this is actually like a 100-year-old idea, 120-year-old idea. It was a guy, this is like, we're back in college now. Elias St. Elmo Lewis was the one who originally said, and he's just talking about ads, an advertisement must first attract the reader, so they'll look at the advertisement, then interest them, so they'll continue to read it, and then convince them by making them believe it. What is he talking about? Attraction, interest, and then convince, right? Traffic and conversion, basically, right? And that's his point. If an advertisement contains these three qualities, it is successful. So yes, it's fine. We're just taking a big picture view. Awareness, usually they call it this, AIDA, awareness, interest, desire, action. You have never bought anything that you weren't aware of first. You've never bought anything that you didn't consider first. And buying it, right, you had to go through those steps first. Every single thing. The house you live in, your bicycle, the car you drive, what you had for lunch yesterday. All these things we all go through either in 10 seconds or in 5 years, right? These steps. I simplify it usually and just say awareness, consideration, and action. This is very common. Another way to think of this, because I'm an SEO, as you know, your audience is always either problem aware. Why does my sink smell weird? Solution aware. I need to replace the drain on this thing. Brand aware. ABC plumbers. right? And the job of content is to guide them deeper through this, right? To make them aware of us through the top, the middle, and the bottom of the funnel, through information intent and commercial intent key phrases, if we're talking about SEO. Okay, so we can agree that there is such a thing as a funnel. Next, I want to just show you a couple pieces of content and show you what their attributes were and how they aligned with the funnel. This maybe is going to be a new way to think about content strategy for you. I've never laid it out. I've done 1 million webinars. I've never really laid it out this way. This is new for me as a way to teach, but I've always thought about it this way. I'm just going to put it in front of you now in black and white. You're going to see one good way to think about content as it's structured and performs. Every piece of content has a topic. The topic is literally, it's about thought leadership. The content is a lot of content is key phrase focused. The key phrase in this case is, what is thought leadership marketing? That's an information intent key phrase, right? You don't search for that if you're ready to buy something. You're just asking a question. The location is the blog. Not all content's blog posts. Some content lives on sales pages, right? Or other places. The format is its original research and yet, of course, an article. The collaborators on this, my influencers were subject matter experts. I promoted this through search. Specifically, it's an SEO focused promotion channel. And the goal of this was what? Brand awareness, traffic, links, authority, email list growth. This is an awareness piece. The goal is the top of the funnel, right? I'm going to give you an example of a different piece of content now. The perfect B2B website page, right? Website service page. This content is about web design, which we do web design. And if you scroll down, it's going to give you our version of the best way to build a B2B service page. I am making the case in this piece of content that the best B2B service pages include all of these 13 elements. And that if you miss one of these elements, you have made a less than perfect B2B service page. It's partly strong opinion. It's partly best practices. It's based on, I've been part of the planning process for like 1,000 websites. So there's a lot of experience built into this little diagram. But who's it for? It's for my potential buyer. The topic is very relevant to what we do, B2B web design. The key phrase, it's not super well aligned, but it's a B2B website related phrase. That's a commercial intent key phrase. You can tell I'm already farther down the funnel. It's posted in the blog. It's a guide with a diagram. I've got current clients as my contributors. I'm promoting it by directly emailing it to my prospects, like account-based marketing. I did a webinar about this topic, invited our prospects and our clients, and promoted it through some LinkedIn ads, right? Targeting potential buyers. I also use it on sales calls. I show this to people during sales. That is bottom of funnel content. In other words, it is sales enablement. The goal is sales enablement. This is how I promote that content. I'm not going for quantity. I'm going for quality. I will send this email. Great. Follow-up email. I had a sales meeting. Good morning. Hey, thanks for your time yesterday. Before we jump on another call, please take a look at this article. It may help you understand how we design and write high-performing web pages and how those work with the psychology of your visitors. It's got X items in it, or it's got 13 items. Your site has 8 of these. In other words, I have identified a performance opportunity in your marketing. I'm selling. I still do lots of sales. So just for the record, the secret's out. I'm not even a full-time marketer. I spend a lot of time doing sales and service. I'm jealous of all of you on this that are full-time, that get to do marketing full-time. So let's break it down. Every piece of content you publish has a topic, might have a key phrase. It's posted in a location. It's in a format. It has different influencer collaborators. It's promoted through different channels with different goals and purpose. That is basically a matrix. It's basically a framework, and it's a way for you as a content strategist to consider what's working well. Is it meeting its goal? Are there gaps? Have you ever published something that works in this other way, right? The next thing you publish will align in some way across these attributes: topic, key phrase, location, format, influencers, promotion channel, and goals. They are measurable, and we're going to show you a tool for measuring the performance of content as it's in its position in your marketing at the top, middle, or bottom of the funnel. So now I'm going to break that down even more specifically and give this to you and with my own experience. Then we'll look at some research. If you take the top, the middle, and the bottom. By the way, the way that I think of this is actually not that there is top of funnel content, but there's content designed to move people from the top to the middle. There's content designed to move people from the middle to the bottom. People are problem aware, and then they search for an information intent key phrase, and then they are solution aware. So I purposely didn't line these up because I think that the information intent keywords, it's a subtle difference, but the goal of that content is to guide them down. It's not to meet them there, it's to pull them through your funnel. This is mice are not naturally attracted to mousetraps. You need cheese, right? Some content is cheese, some content is mousetraps. Okay, so key phrases, information intent, commercial intent, and then brand or navigation intent, right? That's know, do, and go. You probably know there's 3 main types of key phrases. Go look at your browsing history. Everything you've ever searched for is either an information intent, commercial intent, or navigational key phrase, fundamentally. There's the locations, there's the formats, there's the influencers. Partnering with celebrities, hey, that might create a ton of visibility. The audience is not your target audience. Those are just generally famous people. I don't know why people keep chasing celebrities. As if influencer marketing is just about lifestyle, Instagram. No, that is not. The best influencers for conversion are getting your prospects into your content. Create content together with your prospects. That's called zero waste marketing. That marketing gets you results before it even goes live. Promotion channel and goals. Take a screenshot, or we're going to share all these slides, of course. We're going to share this video, of course. You can just think about this. Does my hypothesis align with the research? Well, we did a study, or SEMrush did a study, a survey of, I think, 350 marketers. This was Alina and her team put this together. Yes, the how-to guide at the very top, landing pages at the very top. This is what marketers said works best at the top of the funnel. What about attracting traffic? Which promotion channels? Yes, they basically agree with me here. SEO is number 1. That's going to be, it's an engine for discovery. Middle of the funnel. How-to guides, again, I think the guide kind of suggests they're going a little deeper maybe. This person is considering options. So product aware, case studies, I think you can tell we're moving farther down. Promotion channels. Search still, yes, of course, but email gets bigger. That's going to be a more important channel for promotion. And then down here at the bottom of the funnel, my thesis is partly that this is when the person is in the comparison mode. They're evaluating options, they're narrowing down their choices and getting closer to making a decision. So like a savings calculator as a format, but case studies, stories, problem, solution, result. That's the classic format for a case study. The problem, solution, result, they can see the result, they can see how it was solved, they can imagine it being solved for them. And then these channels for payments or conversion, you can see, we see again, email, paid, social. Organic search becomes less important because that person now should be more problem aware. They're becoming more aware of your brand and your options. Another way to think about this, all of our websites have 2 kinds of visitors, the transactional and the informational. Transactional needs a service, informational just kicking tires and getting answers, and they might want to solve the problem themselves. They all search for basically 2 main types of key phrases. I call them $ and question marks. These are the commercial intent key phrases, and these are the question mark key phrases. We know from studies there are 8 times as many searches for information intent queries than commercial queries. There's 2 kinds of pages on your website, sales pages and the blog, content marketing content. And the content marketing content might attract subscribers, followers, and links, but it's really when people search for the commercial intent key phrase, they land right on the sales page, they're far more likely to convert. I've done research where it looks like commercial intent key phrases convert visitors to leads at a rate of 50 times higher than the information intent query. So this is a useful way to think about it, I think. This partly also explains why I don't link backwards from sales pages to blog posts, because I'm trying to move my visitor down through the funnel. I don't want them to click on a link on a sales page and then go to a blog post, which has got sharing buttons and all, links to social and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you now 3, this is lightning round, 3 tips based on my experience and results and analytics and 400 clients for the top, for the middle, and for the bottom of the funnel. The top of the funnel, our goal is literally a cognitive goal. It's to change a mind. It's to increase awareness. There is no such thing as action here really yet, right? They're just becoming aware. The audience is seeking information. We target info intent key phrases, and our main metric is basically brand awareness, aka traffic. Everyone focuses on the top of the funnel. I'm not really worried about emphasizing this because it's typically an audit would reveal that people lack bottom of funnel content. But let's take it from the top. Original research is the #1 format in my experience for driving awareness, for driving links. If you put any site into SEMrush and analyze which pages on that site have attracted the most links, it is frequently the pages that have original research. It is frequently the pages that make that website, that domain, the primary source for a piece of information. Example, what's the lifespan of a website? I don't know. Anyone know? I couldn't find the information. In other words, I found an information gap on the internet, hired a virtual assistant to go look at a whole bunch of the top websites in the Wayback Machine and discovered that the average interval for redesigning the top marketing websites is 2 years and 7 months. This is a new statistic on our site that has driven, I think, 200 links over the years, right? Because it's new data, original research, all powerful at the top of the funnel. An even better example is this thing we did about how long does it take to write a blog post? We're refreshing this data actually this week. It comes out next week. We're publishing data on the average time it takes to write a blog post, the average length of a blog post, what percentage of bloggers research keywords. It goes live on Thursday. 1,200 bloggers took our survey this year, so it's quite credible. The framework for creating original research for yourselves is to ask this question: what do people in your industry frequently say but rarely support with evidence? What is the frequently asserted but rarely supported thing? Find and publish the missing statistic. You're going to win. You're going to win the internet for the day if you can publish a new piece of research. If I was auditing your website today, that would be one of the criteria against which I would judge your site. Is there any information for which this website is the primary source? You can get results with a brand new baby blog with virtually no authority score yet. As long as you have original research on your site, you've got a massive benefit in PR and outreach. So, data. Next, social media video. It's so effective that it makes me wonder why I do normal social media. The answer is time, but that's a setup. I'm using Camtasia from TechSmith. This is literally the desk I'm sitting in right now. I'm using a different camera now and a different mic. I've got a slightly better mic now, but fundamentally this is it. I turn on the camera, and then I record this tiny version of myself. Then I make a social media post showing with using every benefit I can with hashtags and numbers and line breaks and captions. I always mention the social media, the influencers and contributors to my content. It kind of looks like this. So there you go. Let me mute that. So the captions slow down them while they're scrolling, and the mentions make notify other people. I'll even sometimes mention in the first comment people who shared on Twitter to try to pull them in, right? I'm jumping social media platforms, amplifying. And of course, the link has a campaign tracking code. The results are breathtaking. Wow, hundreds of visitors. I can good attribution on the subscribers because I'm using campaign tracking code. Hundreds of visitors. These things live for weeks. Hey, I thought social media posts are, gone after an hour. They're buried in the stream. Not really. The social media algorithms are slamming those to the top of people's social streams because they know that those keep people on the platform. Look at this one. One social media video promoting one piece of content with one link, 1,200 visits, 13 subscribers, was alive for 2 weeks. So I can't think of there's no social tactic that performs better for promoting top of funnel content than a social media video. Finally, I recommend including contributor quotes. I would never write an article without including contributor quotes from experts. It improves the quality of the content. It improves the social reach because they're very likely to share, and it grows your professional network, which is critical in your success long-term. A journalist would never write an article without including a source. Why would the content marketer write an article without including a contributor quote? It's just a missed opportunity, right? You make it live and then you hope some people will discover it. You start emailing it to people. No, email them before it's live, ask them for a quote, include them in the content, and then notify them that it's live, right? To say it more strongly, we are in a post single point of view era for content marketing. The only content that performs really well if it has only a single point of view is strong opinion. Op-ed might work, but for the most part, any how-to article, right? Just put people in it. It's free, right? Just getting a contributor quote. Here's one I did: 34 ways to get more out of a conference. Hey, look, I put in Nick Westergaard and Shayla Price and Heidi Cohen and Emily Crum. I've got all these tips from all these people. This is just a better article than it would have been. How to get more value from an event. Look, Sujan Patel's in my article. To one email he sent. Steve Garfield contributed to this. Thanks, Steve. Carrie Gorgone, who runs the Marketing Profs podcast. Barry Feldman's in this post. These are friends. These are people I want to know. These are influencers. Some have social networks. Some just have great ideas. Post goes live. 1,200 shares on that single post. Would that have happened if I hadn't stacked the deck? You feel like you're cheating. It's that effective. Stack the deck by putting in lots of contributors. I'm not recommending the roundup. I think roundups are pretty bad in lots of cases. They're just copy paste, copy paste. Good roundups. The writers adding tons of value by adding lots of analysis. That wasn't a roundup. That was an article with a bunch of advice and contributors adding value to different points. We all know this. Content optimized for search includes key phrases, but not everyone knows this. Content optimized for social media includes people. You basically did not optimize your content for social unless you included people, faces, names. It's like a little party. It's something's going on. Optimize your content for both. Moving on. 3, my top 3 tips for the middle of the funnel where you're trying to create trust and change attitudes. Your metrics here are more likely going to be subscribers, registrants, and click-through rate. Is this effectively pulling people deeper? Middle of the funnel, this may not be your first brand touch point. You may have already talked to this person before. They may already be on your list. And so what's the number 1 tip for better email performance? It's quite simple. And again, it's totally free. Make your emails more human. If your emails are just as company name as the sender name, and the subject line is pretty boring, and the pre-header text says trouble viewing this email, right? Or would you like to unsubscribe? I see horrible pre-header text and emails everywhere. Why not, at no cost, log into your email tool and just change your sender name so that it's a human? Much harder to unsubscribe from or delete an email if it comes from a person, right? I can tell immediately if someone's read my book because I just look at the emails and I see they didn't do this one basic thing. 20% in lots of cases. I see clients get a 20% lift in open rates by one change that takes 5 seconds. Make it a personal sender name. Make it a compelling subject line. Make it a meaningful pre-header text. Cost nothing, takes no time, dramatic impact. Finally, to grow your list, make sure you're using the 3 Ps in your email sign-up box: prominence, promise, and proof. In other words, your email sign-up form should be prominent. Maybe a pop-up, maybe just a different color, maybe a sticky footer, maybe it's at the top, maybe it's surrounded by white space. Those are tactics for visual prominence. The promise is what they're going to get. The proof is some evidence that someone else liked it. Social proof, right? Any website that doesn't have proof is just a bunch of unsupported marketing claims and weak calls to action. Here's one I saw Monday, 2 days ago. SEO. So is this prominent? Yep. It's a big purple box. Is it promising something? Yep. SEO insights. And the proof? These are testimonials from famous brands. He's leveraging the halo effect. That's a cognitive bias. I trust Forbes, therefore I trust this quote. Very clever. Our 3 Ps are evident right there in our sticky footer. It's prominent because it's the bottom of every blog post. So a sticky element. The promise is that you're going to get bi-weekly web marketing tips. That's all. Once every 2 weeks, that's all I'm going to send. And who gets it? 13,000 people. I think it's up to 16,000 people. About 30 people a day are filling this out. So, and you can do that even in small spaces like a footer. Join the X number of people who receive web marketing tips. So if your email sign-up form looks like this, ask yourself why. Ask yourself, wouldn't it be weird if somebody subscribed? It's not good if you're marketing, if it'd be weird if someone succeeded for you. Like that's not, if all it says is newsletter, sign up, submit, then why would anyone do that? It would be strange if they did that. Finally, awesome tactic, just add videos to your top performing articles. Whatever's the one that ranks, it's getting traffic, it's got durable visibility, it's getting clicks over time. There's probably people reading it right now. Make a video version of that one and put it right there. It's going to immediately get views. That's going to help build your YouTube channel if you want to be active over there. If you use YouTube, do people click on that? Does that affect engagement? I'm going to measure that. It's not a page view interaction, so I can't measure it with Google Analytics without an event. So I make an event. I make that event using Google Tag Manager. I've got a video on this. There's lots. It's not that hard. If you've never created, if you have videos on your site, especially if they're from YouTube, it's super easy. Ask me later and I'll show you or find us on YouTube. There's a video that shows how. You basically need to make a category, action, and label Every event has a category, an action, and a label. And then you're going to create a trigger for that. The YouTube triggers are built into Google Tag Manager. Then when you go into analytics, you can create segments, people who watch and people who don't watch. Look, for this page, how to improve your Google rankings, I can actually see separately, especially when it's the landing page, right? I can measure dwell time. So is that a user interaction signal? Is that a search ranking factor? If yes, I'm working on that one. Here, I'm going to zoom in on this. Is this the same one? Yeah. 10% of visitors watch. They are 20% less likely to bounce. They spend 3.5 times as many seconds on the page. And they convert at 350% rates. I know that this is effective middle of funnel content because I just measured it. I don't guess. I never guess. I have no opinions. I have hypotheses and I have data. I am a data-driven marketer. I don't have ideas. I have hypotheses. And I don't just, post and pray. I have data to confirm or reject my hypothesis. You get the idea. Okay, I'm going to wrap up with the bottom of the funnel where you have a behavioral goal. Your audience is looking for help. They're searching for commercial intent key phrases, or they're brand aware. They're looking for, they're already coming to your site. They've been here before. They search for the brand, the navigational query. And here your metric is basically conversion rate. How do we maximize conversion rates? So this is more classic on a sales page, as in a product or service page. The page designed to sell. I already mentioned I rarely link from sales pages to blog posts because I'm trying to convert them. These pages have a singular focus. It may not be a landing page, which has an even more singular focus. This might just be a sales page on your site. Oh, I showed that example of like 13 things to put on your B2B sales pages. The testimonial keeps the page from being a giant pile of unsupported marketing claims. If you don't have evidence on your page, your site is a bunch of unsupported marketing claims. You want a fun exercise? Do this one. Open a beer, pull up one of your sales pages, and just count the number of unsupported marketing claims you made. And then ask yourself, could anybody have made this page? You might be a 50-year-old, well-established mid-market company, but the startup that launched yesterday could say those exact same things. Why? Because you added no evidence. You gave them no reason to believe. The structure of a high-converting page is answer evidence, answer evidence, answer evidence, call to action. That's a web page. Okay. So the testimonial. How do you make a better testimonial? First of all, take it out of the slider. No one's going to see the second and third and the subsequent slides if you put them in a slider. Use a heat maps for scrolling like Hotjar. You'll see what percentage of people would go past. So B2B, put logo, put the most compelling words of the testimonial into a subhead. Amazon makes you write headlines for your book reviews for a good reason, to increase visual prominence, to slow down the scroller, to slow down the scanner, to get people to read so that the scanner gets value even if they don't read every little word. So take out 35% increase in conversions, 35% increase in conversions. And then the key phrase, this is sneaky of me, the key phrased focus testimonial is a way to help the search rankings and the conversions at the same time. I know of only 4 tactics in all of digital that combine cheese and mousetrap that can increase traffic and conversions at the same time. The keyword focused testimonial is one example. The face, the name, the title, the company is also a way to make it legit. It looks human. This is credible now. Faces are very powerful at attracting attention. That's why we often now put faces next to calls to action. My second tactic here, put faces next to your call to action. It's going to do 2 things. It makes the call to action more visually prominent by pulling. Faces are magnetic, right? We are hardwired. It's in the hardware of the brain. Babies, from the day they're born, are more likely to look at faces than any other type of image. Babies are more likely to look at shapes that resemble faces than other types of images. So they are very powerful at attracting attention. So I've made my call to action more visually prominent. Secondly, you begin to answer a question. I said answers are the key to conversion. You begin to answer the question like, who might I talk to? It just feels more human. Same as the email subject line, the email sender name. Look more human. The most human brand wins. Side note, I work with hundreds of clients, and I'll tell you something really weird. Little companies are always trying to look big, and big companies are always trying to look small. Why is that? Shouldn't every company just try to look more human and approachable? There should be faces and people on all of your pages. Just consider that the impact that can make. Final tip, I want to suggest that I'm going to say something that might be obvious. but it took me years to figure out. Nobody clicks on anything until they have done a split-second cost-benefit calculation in their brain. That's one of the simplest ways to explain conversion. And I said it earlier, like email subscribe rates, right? The 3 Ps of your email sign-up box. Why would someone do that? The answer is their perceived return is higher than their perceived investment. Oh, you're going to add noise to my inbox. My email is already a mess. That's a high cost to me. But what's the benefit? If the apparent benefit outweighs the cost, they take action. With that in mind, we can deliberately write calls to action and design buttons and use verbs that maximize the perceived benefit, that make the R seem big, the return. Do this valuable thing. Or we can deliberately write calls to action, design buttons, use verbs that make the I seem small. Do this easy thing. I don't know. Most people maybe haven't thought about it this way. That is the math in the mind of your audience before they take an action. They're doing a cost-benefit calculation, and if the cost is greater than the benefit, they do not click. They keep scrolling. They keep scanning. They keep searching. They hit the back button, right? You did not leverage cognitive bias. You did not manipulate the calculus in their brain. Download ebook. Sounds long. Is that homework? Do I want to read this? What is it going to sit on my desktop? My desktop's a mess. Download now and solve all your problems today. I'm overpromising a little bit. Download instantly and start reading now. I don't have to wait. That's a lower cost. I know your designers don't love this because the buttons get big, but you get more bites at the apple. You get another chance. It's like longer headlines. You have a higher probability of success because you're using more words and more verbs. Contact us is not a call to action. I'm sorry. That's just available. It's making contacting you available. So more specifically, get in touch and start improving your click-through rates today. You can tell I just made these using a fake button creator. Start improving your click-through rates today. Pretty funny, right? Like this is the reason why you'd click is in the button. Or how about this? Talk to an expert about your button text. It's not, you're not spending money yet. Keep your wallet in your pants. Just talk to an expert. Just chat with a professional, ask us a question. When you use those verbs, it makes the investment seem lower, the commitment seem lower. Right? Don't talk about money till the last step in the conversion process. You want to a lot of B2B especially, for low volume of high value prospects, for low quantity of high quality traffic. It doesn't matter how many you get. You're trying to get the right ones. And so to do that, you're going to have a long sales cycle. You just want to start conversations, right? It's why chatbots are so popular now. You're just trying to start a conversation and then maybe help people get out of the funnel because nobody wants to be a disqualified lead and you don't want disqualified leads anyway. So I really love the lower investment call to action, the simpler verb that just says, ask us, talk to us, chat with us. Got a question? Something like that. You can, positive impact on conversion rates. So that said, we are mostly on time. That was my turbo version of how content can be designed to work with the top, the middle, the bottom of the funnel. And then specific tactics, 3 for each. I could go on all day. I have lots of ideas for each, but I just chose a few for each, knowing that those are simple takeaways. Hopefully changes you can make mostly with content and without design or programming. Hopefully changes that don't require 11 meetings internally to decide what you should do. They're pretty obvious. I mean, there's nothing controversial about any of those. So our goal was to kind of just start with that, to give you guys specific things you can take away and make those impactful changes right now. But speaking of impact, I'm excited about this. I've seen this now. They kept me in the loop now for like a month. So I've got a bit more insights. But we want to show you a new tool that SEMrush is rolling out under a slightly separate brand that will show you at a glance how to measure the performance of your content in the top, the middle, and the bottom, especially the top and the bottom of the funnel. So I'm going to pass it over to Ilya now.
Yeah.
And stop sharing. Or Gregory, can you just pass him? There. It might be no problem.
Give me a second, please.
I love this topic. Can you tell?
Really great.
That's
yeah,
fun.
that was.
Yeah,
that
thank you,
really
Andy. That was enlightening.
And we also have saying that. So yeah, there were a couple of slides about Impact Hero. Just give me a second. I'll open them. All right.
I also see some of the questions in the chat, but we will address all the questions after at the end of the whole webinar. So keep them coming.
Yeah, it's I wonder if we have anyone who doesn't believe in the funnel anymore. Like anyone written "the funnel is dead" blog post? It's
that would be, at least it would be a great clickbait. I won't lie.
Yeah, I don't. The funnel is complex, but there is still content that works, as we're about to see, content that works or doesn't work inside the funnel. And again, we've recorded everything. Again, you're getting the slides. I'm available. We're all going to be available. If you don't have time to ask us something today, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or ask us anything on social media. This is not the end of anything.
We're not. Okay. So thank you, Andy. So yeah, just a couple of things. Yeah, Ilya has been working on this tool for how long? Since, well, doesn't matter actually. So we definitely
now. So it's I would say a bit less than a year. It's a product of a hard efforts of to
so yeah, as I already mentioned in the beginning of the webinar, well, SEMrush, well, actually it was founded by two SEO guys. So they basically developed the tool for themselves, and that's what we kind of still live up to. And Impact Hero is a tool, one of the tools that we developed for ourselves, and we use it ourselves. So it's been 4 years ago, we released the content marketing platform, the tool called Content Audit. There is a lot of stuff on our blog. Those who read a SEMrush blog, that they know that there is so many posts out there. And so we had to measure the effectiveness of the content that is out there and how it impacts the customer journey. So basically, the main point here is that Impact Hero was developed to help content marketers with the challenges they have. And we're just going to quickly go through some of them that we have. So the challenge number one is improving content marketing efficiency. So sometimes it's hard.
Are you sharing that slide?
I think I am. You see that?
I'm seeing the full deck, and it's on slide 86. There you go.
Yeah, a little bit hard to do that. Give me a moment. Yeah.
There you go.
Working out? Okay, cool. So sometimes it's hard to understand how a specific article impacted lead generation. So as Andy said, it might got a lot of traffic into it, but do we got any sales from them in the sales cycle? Maybe 3 months, 4 months, a month maybe, or a week. So we content marketers need to have the ability to measure the effectiveness of each content piece and just content strategy based on that. So everything can be measured in digital marketing nowadays. So we can allocate resources more efficiently, but on the other hand, the businesses require marketers to be more efficient and cost effective. So Impact Hero helps you understand which stage of the funnel needs improvement and which one brings results. So is it works now?
Yeah, you're not in presentation mode, but if you just click to advance to the next slide, I'm seeing the PowerPoint open.
Okay.
There you go. Now you're on the next slide.
So I'm gonna do some magic about that. Sorry for that. So developing a content strategy. So strategic approach is very important, as Andy said already. The competition online is growing constantly. Users have to choose from a huge variety of content that they can choose from. One content strategy, once you already have the content strategy ready, you still need to improve and adjust it constantly. So you know that improvements on each stage will affect the overall business results. So Impact Hero gives you actionable tips on improvements that you need to make to get more traffic and generate more leads. That was about it. So yeah, I'm doing this magic. Hope it works now. So yeah, the next one, building an effective content marketing funnel. It's very challenging to create an article that will get a lot of traffic, but it's not enough. So once you get that traffic, you need to push this through the funnel, push the leads through the funnel, push this users through the funnel, guide them and kind of nurture them to upsell, cross-sell, or if you have a subscription model, you need to make them stay with you for longer. Impact Hero will help you to understand which content works best for each stage of the funnel. Yeah. All right. A few minutes. Okay. So yeah, the other one is creating content that attracts and converts. So yes, as Andy already mentioned in that research, which by the way we'll share in the follow-up email, there is a lot of content out there, from webinars to, I don't know, how-tos, case studies, different blog posts, researches. So each type of content is works best for a specific stage. So Impact Hero will help you to understand that, in which content works best for each stage. And the last one, but not least, is we'll show the demo of the Impact Hero later. So it's hard to measure the content, the results of your team, and Impact Hero will help you to do that. Because, well, basically now, in order to prove the efficiency of your content marketing efforts, you need to go dig through a lot of different analytics tools and be an expert in that. Well, we're not saying you don't need to be a good with analytics, but Impact Hero is created specifically for content marketers, and it kind of highlights the specific features that content marketers require. So I think that's it from my side. And now we have a demo time. Ilya?
Yep. Ready when you stop sharing. I will be switching to the. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yep. So, guys,
I'm ready.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, perfect.
Gregory? All nice. Okay. So before I dive deeper into the features, let me quickly tell you, we are a bit short on time, so I'll be very quick, about how the Impact Hero works. So when we were creating that, we were considering different possibilities, like, for example, importing data from your Google Analytics, but we found out that Google Analytics doesn't really want to share its full results, so it will only give us sample data via the API. So we decided that the best way to provide you with the quality data on your visitors would be to get straight to the source. So in order to use the Impact Hero, you need to first install some small code from us on your website. You can do it very easily, either directly via HTML or using the Google Tag Manager. We even have a very handy video on how to do that. And it will just start collecting the data that you're going to see right now. And what I will be showing to you is the live data coming from Andy's own website, orbitmedia.com. Thank you, Andy, very much for allowing us to take a sneak peek
no problem.
under the hood of your own website.
Sure.
And the important point that I want to touch upon before we go into details on the particular content pieces, etc., is that we understand that it's very important for you to decide which of the pages of your website do you actually consider content. So, for example, you may want to exclude some very auxiliary pages like this this folder, something about the contact us information probably. So for now, we've just limited to the blog folder, to the how to portfolio and services. Okay, so following on Andy's lead on the funnel stages, we offer you to take a look at content and see what happens at the 3 main stages. We call them reach, nurturing, and leads. And here at the dashboard, you can see at a glance, for example, that you have attracted a bit more than 120,000 visitors in the past month. They converted into almost 500 leads on your content pages, and also you have a number of more dedicated visitors which visited more than one page on your website. So let's take a look, for example, at the reach stage. And reach stage is the first stage corresponding to the awareness in the classic funnel. And here we will be looking at the pages that are best at attracting new people to your website. And obviously, the most important metrics here that we show to you would be the number of external traffic, the bounce rate, and engagement score. I will pause a bit on the engagement score because it's one of our know-hows. What we do here is we don't like the classic metrics like the time on page, for example, because it's very easily skewed by the people who just opened the page and went to get some coffee. So engagement score instead takes a look at how far did they scroll on that page and how quickly did they do it. So if you have a 1,000-word piece and someone scrolled it down in 5 seconds, they probably did not read it. It was not a true engagement. So an important piece of information that we provide to you is something that we call insights. And we hope that the insights will allow you to find the places in your content structure that need attention, where you can achieve the greatest impact by directing your efforts here. So, for example, this actually top article at this stage has this light bulb icon, and we can take a look what happens here. So this article gets enormous amount of external traffic, actually the top amount of external traffic out of all blog posts, but it also has quite high bounce rate. So maybe you want to take a look at why it can be so. Maybe it's ranking for the wrong search queries. Maybe you want to take a look at the technical issues. And do you want to comment anything?
I got some work to do. It's homework. No, but it's targeted. So what this tool is doing is, I mean, the problem with marketing is that there's 10 million things you can do, but everybody gets 1,400 minutes a day. What do you do with your day? We have to spend our time on the most focused things. So that one is a good one for me, obviously, right? Because an improvement made to that page would have 100x the impact of an improvement to the average page. That's a very high traffic piece. So yeah, I agree with that input. I should be working on the UX and confirming that the content aligns with the key phrase and visitor intent.
Thank you, Ilya. And another something that caught my eye here is actually we don't have an automated insight for it yet, but it's coming. Is that you actually have quite an old article here. It was written almost 5 years ago, and it's still in your top performance. So maybe you can try and understand what makes this article so successful and try and make more evergreen content like this. Any comments on this, Andy?
Yes, I really appreciate that the published date is so visible because I don't have any other tools that show the published date. Our strategy is to publish evergreen content, so our blog doesn't prioritize the date in the blog template. So you're exposing for me data that I would not be able to access without digging through WordPress. So that is quite useful, and I appreciate that the tool makes that so visible. It suggests that that one maybe needs to be reconsidered. Times have changed even for that content.
Okay, thank you. So that was it. Those were the main things about the reach stage. Again, I will not be able to show you the full features right now. We are extremely time limited. So let me quickly walk you through the other stages. And actually, I wanted to quickly touch base on the last one, the leads one. And it's even more straightforward than the reach section. And it is focused on the content that is the best at directly converting visitors into leads right on this page. One important thing here is, what do we consider leads here? And it's a simple and complex question at the same time. By default, Impact Hero automatically detects if the visitor has submitted a form on your website that had an email or a phone in it. And we understand that they left you their contact information, therefore they've become a lead for you. However, if this automated way is not enough for you, you have the option to manually override that and specify with another piece of code where exactly does the key action for you happen. So, for example, it may be watching a video or clicking a specific link or downloading a specific PDF. So, again, the leads section is very straightforward. It's about getting as much leads as possible with as best conversion as possible. In the middle, we have probably one of the most interesting parts that Impact Hero has to offer. And what's interesting about content marketing is that it is about playing a long game. Not every person who reads an article on your blog will automatically decide and become a lead on their first visit. However, the best pieces of content are those that encourage them to return again and again and ultimately become a lead, and after that a paying customer. So what we do here is a little magic. We analyze the journeys that the visitors take through your website over multiple visits, over multiple sessions, and we apply some Markov chain machine learning magic here and find out the pages that are the most crucial for pushing the people towards becoming a lead later in the game. So which pages are most important for indirect leads? And the most important metric here, actually two most important metrics, would be the our impact score and relative impact score. Impact score is should be understood as a direct, not direct, as a measurement of the value of this page. So how much value in terms of lead did this page bring to you over the last, right now it's over the last 30 days. So how much will you lose if this page did not exist on your website? Relative impact score is a bit more tricky because it is basically the same value, but taken in a relation to with the traffic that this page gets. So, for example, we have this this page, your portfolio page, which doesn't get that much traffic, but otherwise has a decent impact score.
Mm-hmm.
So we see that its relative impact score is quite high. Well, it's understandable. People are coming to you if they read your portfolio and are impressed with it. They can later sign up for your service. So it makes sense. However, what it means here is that the high relative impact score means that if you bring more internal link juice to this particular page, you can expect greater impact than, for example, if you brought more people to this page, which has not that high relative impact score.
Wow.
No,
I need to,
again,
that's, well, first of all, I love how you guys qualify leads because it's just done for you. I think it's a lot of people struggle to get goals accurately created in Google Analytics, and Google Analytics goals don't necessarily correlate with things until you do deeper analysis. So the setup is easier. You just add JavaScript, doing things like scroll, like this, doing many things that analytics does not do. It's picking up where analytics leaves off. And I like how it's a good idea to consider these pages in their ability as cheese or mousetrap, reach or leads, and to apply different metrics to them. Don't judge them by the same criteria. They have different jobs to do. So just this, I haven't looked at this in a few weeks. I know what I'm going to do tomorrow based on this report. So thank you for this demo.
Okay, so I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen now and drop things up. There will be a link for you to sign up for a demo of Impact Hero. Gregory will provide it, but I guess, do we have time for questions, Greg?
Yeah, well, we slightly gone over time, but I think now we have time to answer the questions. So
yeah, let's take a few minutes. Maybe we can go 5 minutes over and clarify anything.
So Shafa Idris asking, how do you know you're writing something not too unique that it becomes difficult for your customers to find you?
How do you know if you're writing something that is not unique?
Not too unique that it becomes difficult for your customers to find you. Well, actually,
this may not be a satisfying answer, but it's my strong opinion that if you're not making the best page on the internet for your topic, you're really not doing SEO. You are not aligned with what a search engine is trying to do in its service of the searcher. So SEO to me is a competition of quality. I understand that it's, we look for signals to understand how Google understands quality, but fundamentally, if you haven't made what you firmly believe to be the best page on the internet for that topic, if Google was the judge and your audience was the jury, you could stand there and make the case that this is the best page. It's got more answers, more detail, more examples, more statistics, stronger visuals. It's got more clarity. It's more concise. Then you're going to always struggle in SEO. Google has 2,000 math PhDs. If you make a crappy page and try to rank it, there's 2,000 math PhDs trying to stop you. If you make a great page and try to rank it, there's 2,000 math PhDs trying to help you. So visibility, I think, is, I understand all the other attributes of SEO, but fundamentally, we need to make quality first. That's going to make the biggest difference.
Perfect. I totally agree with you on that. Andy, that's for you. Do you get your contributor quotes before and after, or after you write in the article? I would think
before.
It would before you need to tie the quotes to the content. Right?
Yeah, an ally in creating content is an ally in promoting content. So if the post goes live and then you're asking for people for contributor quotes, then the article went live without anybody expecting it to go live. If the first day your article goes live, there's nobody waiting for it to be live, then you have a big disadvantage in promotion. If you worked with 5 or 6 people and every article includes a quote when it goes live, you have a little team on your side to help you promote it, at very least in social. And then you could also use it for networking. Every content is an opportunity to network. So while you're creating it, include a quote from a journalist that you'd like to collaborate with later, or a prospect that you'd like to work with later. No, the getting contributor quotes is something that's done during the creation process, which means that usually you got to start planning things maybe a week earlier than you might normally.
Perfect. Do you recommend Squarespace as a website builder for B2B style website? I've just started learning and would like to start building.
I don't know anybody that recommends Squarespace for anybody. Nobody recommends Squarespace unless you're broke. I don't know. It's not famous.
Squarespace.
Yeah, it's famous for one thing: launching websites quickly. I don't think that there are any. I can't think of examples of like high performing Squarespace pages. The advantage is that you can build a website. I once built a website while drinking a beer. I literally finished the website before I finished the beer. It was on Wix.com. So that's the advantage. It has high ROI because the I is so low. Probably you should just use WordPress.
Cool. So yeah, excellent presentation, Andy. Great job. That was great, Andy. Brilliant. So much thanks for these tips, Andy. Power to you, Andy. Andy, always amazing. Wow, that's inspiring.
Thank you.
So what was the question? For sender email, should it be first name, last name, from company name? I think that's about the reference.
Yeah, the sender name will get truncated. So as long as the human is in there somewhere, I think ours say Andy it's Andy at Orbit Media. In reality, a better way to describe that is that the sender name should be the strongest brand value. So if the brand that you're sending it from is famous, it might work to have the brand name there. But still, I think if you look for opportunities, right? The follow-up email to this might be from Gregory at SEMrush. So probably the name of the brand is more identifiable than the person's last name. But I think the key is to get a first name in there somehow.
Thank you. So the question about the buttons and the call to actions, don't they appear too long, the buttons? When so long, buttons appear odd, the question is.
I understand that. I have that feeling myself sometimes, but that is opinion. That's not data. That's just my personal preference. That's a feeling I had as an individual. Do you think that your visitors are going to complain that your button text was too long? It's not. We should be open to ideas that push our comfort limits. So yeah, they look kind of long and weird, especially on mobile. They get really big. I don't care. I don't care if they work. I don't care if they add clarity, if they improve conversions. So literally, the point of being a data-driven marketer is to set aside all of your preference, all of your opinion. I have hopefully expressed 0 opinions during this presentation. I'd never express an opinion without qualifying it first. This is what I like as an individual, but I'm a data set of 1. So I set aside that's an example of an idea that I would completely set aside as you go test. Just go try it. Put it in Google Optimize, see what works, and see what works for your content and your data. Best practices are what's working for other people. The best answer is to just try a couple options and test them.
Thank you. The question from Taylor. Andy, do you start with keyword list specific to your target audience before starting content creation? And if yes, how do you create that audience-specific keyword list?
I love this. I think, yeah, this is my opinion. I'm going to qualify, as I mentioned, I will. I think that it's strange to have a keyword first approach to content. I think it's very powerful to have an audience first approach to content. The keyword first approach to content, you might be writing about things that your potential buyer really doesn't care about. You're just chasing traffic. You're maybe overweighting the top of the funnel. That's why the funnel model is useful. It's because it forces you to think about all the things that they need before they buy. What questions do they have before they buy? What information do they need to be a good qualified lead? What are they hoping for? What are they afraid of? If you know your audience, then come up with a topic and then look for keyword opportunities. You're much more likely to generate actual demand and not just traffic. So only around half of my articles are keyword focused. And when on those keyword focused articles, I am all in, I'm fighting hard, I'm indicating relevance through 11 ways. I always use the SEMrush SEO writing assistant. But other content, it's just not, I'm going to email it directly to my prospect. I don't care about keywords. I am free to write whatever I want to write. I don't have to worry about it. It's very useful to understand the difference. So I'd much prefer, and I highly recommend as marketers, to take an audience first approach. Once you know the topic is qualified with your reader, then look for keyword alignment opportunities.
Great. Yeah, about if this webinar been recorded, yes, the webinar is being recorded, and we will send a follow-up email tomorrow. I think it's gonna send out automatically in 24 hours. So how do you get prospects to collaborate with you on in your content?
Well, it's easier than getting prospects to respond to your 11th sales email. So let's say you've got a cold lead, or call it stalled ops, a stalled opportunity. You're reaching, and you do a webinar. Yeah, maybe the 5th email you send shouldn't say, "Hey, I'm checking on that proposal." Maybe it's, "Hey, you're an expert on this topic." People love to be interviewed. It's very rare. Only once in my career have someone declined to be interviewed. It's just so uncommon, right? Almost everyone wants to be. People wake up in the morning hoping to be interviewed. This is the flip, right? You used to be, we all used to try to get the attention of media. Nope, you are the media. You've got a blog, you're a publisher. Therefore, your prospect is a potential source. And in their mind, you are PR, you're a press hit. So yeah, you're gonna get 4 contributors for this amazing article you're writing on this topic. Choose one of those to be an expert that's in your pipeline, and just say, there's no sales, right? You're just asking for their insights. Hey, I know you know about this. We talked about this. I know you're passionate about this topic. Would you like to share some of that on my webinar, in my article, in this research, something like this? Can I talk to you about that for a few minutes, or you can send me a quote on that? It's a much better outreach than another sales follow-up. So how hard is it? Not hard. And how easy is it compared to sales follow-up? Much, much, much easier.
Thank you, Andy. Ilya, there are several questions about Impact Hero. Probably you could ask them. Answer them, yeah. So the first one is Impact Hero a standalone product or an add-on to SEMrush?
Yeah, so right now, Impact Hero can be considered as a standalone product. It is not included in the SEMrush subscription. I will not promise that it will not be changed in the nearest future, because we are still open about our model. But yeah, right now you can consider it as a standalone product under the SEMrush general umbrella, let's say. I also see the question about not having too much details in my demo, and asking about the biggest benefit and result. So if I would summarize what I've shown at my demo, is that the biggest benefit from Impact Hero for you would be to understand where to focus your efforts. So you have a lot of content pieces that you can write. You have even more content pieces that you already written, and you can try and optimize. And Impact Hero helps you find those PowerPoints where you can where you should focus your efforts to achieve maximum results. That would be the gist of it.
Thank you very much, Ilya. So, Andy, a couple more questions for you, I think.
Okay.
How to set priority to accomplish everything when you're a smaller content team, like Army of One?
It's a great question. And that's, again, the problem of having so many options of things to do. My recommendation, so digital marketing is about prioritization. My recommendation is to prioritize first the bottom of the funnel. There might be visitors who are on your contact page today, but they're not filling it out because there's something confusing or difficult. If you fix that, you are potentially improving leads immediately. Then move upwards through the funnel. The links, the calls to action that bring people to the contact page Are those compelling? Look at the verbs. Do they maximize ROI on the mind of the visitor? So conversion is a chain. And using analytics or Impact Hero, you can begin to understand where the weak links are in the chain. So I would start at the very bottom of the funnel. Again, you could write another high-ranking article. You might have tons of them. I've got articles that like 400 people read a day. They have virtually zero impact on my marketing outcomes because they're just answering information intent queries. The more important content is the bottom of funnel content. So I'd prioritize the bottom of the funnel. Work hard on your conversions, your contact page, your calls to action, moving upwards through the sales page, the keyword targeting on your sales pages, into your content strategy, calls to action to subscribe to email, keyword focus on the information intent queries. This is basically the funnel is in inverse order to its priority for you as a marketer. So it's a really excellent question. It's a very important topic. And just remind yourself, there might be people on your contact form today, on your sales pages today. Did your sales pages leave anything unclear? Did they add evidence for each of their assertions? Those are very strangely, the industry heavily overweights cheese over mousetraps, which is weird because you could have 1 million visitors and with a 0% conversion rate, you didn't actually create any demand.
Thank you, Andy. We still have several questions. Apologies for everyone. We kind of already 15 minutes.
Yeah, we went long.
Yeah, over the schedule.
But I'd encourage anyone to connect with me, connect on social media. Yeah, but what would you like to do, Gregory?
Yeah, I don't know. If you have time, we can answer this question.
These are very good questions. Let's take one more. Yeah. Let's just take one more. Pick a good one.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, which one is good? The one is good. What are those hash marks for on the wall?
Yeah, that's my favorite one. Yeah, that's the perfect question to wrap it up. I also wanted to ask you, Andy, are they not letting you out? What's
I know. I'm in a prison movie. This is my new normal. It's been 6 months. I'm in Chicago, so this is US. I'm in the Midwest, and we're quarantined, mostly social distanced. It's opening up very slowly here. In the beginning, I thought, oh, this will be funny. I'll get a piece of chalk and I'll make marks on the wall to like show like how many days I've been here. This is sidewalk chalk for my little boy. It stopped being funny. I feel like I'm in, so I stopped doing it. But originally that was how many days I've been alone in the office. I have 40 employees, so I have 40 remote offices now. This is a massive space costing us a ton of money with nobody in it. But I check the mail, I water the plants. I have little kids at home, so I wouldn't get anything done there. So that's me tracking the number of days alone in the office.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. This was great.
Thank you very much for coming, Andy. Brilliant presentation. Apologies for those who that we weren't able to answer all questions, but yeah, with like 80 minutes already in the webinar. Yeah,
find us online. Yeah, everyone is welcome to connect with me. I'm on Twitter and LinkedIn. I don't really use Facebook, but ask me anything, anywhere. You're all welcome to connect. You're all going to get downloads of the slides. You're going to get a link to sign up for the free trial. You're going to add through Tag Manager or whatever mechanism the code, and you're going to see insights right away. I hope that you all maximize the value of this tool and that you don't miss the chance to see all of this in one report. So useful. And yeah, keep your eye out. I always say this at the end, Gregory, if you don't mind me just saying, there is so much good content at SEMrush. There are so many excellent webinars. Just watch this space for more of some of the best that I've found, actionable insights in digital marketing from SEMrush.
Perfect. So thank you very much, everyone. We're going to wrap it up. And many thanks for coming. See you soon.
And one last thing, there was the question, could we answer other questions in another video? Yes, we will do anything possible to make all the input and insights available to anyone. If we didn't get to your questions, we'll do our best to answer them in another day in another format.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay, guys. So fun. Honored. Thank you again.
Thank you. Bye. Cheers.
Okay.